Assalamu alaikum and good day everyone. My name is Shahana Odin and I will be the first presenter from the group 7, and my topic is the overview of literary theorist, modern criticism, and school of thought. So let us start our discussion with the question, what is literary theory? Literary theory refers to the systematic study of the nature of literature and the method used to analyze it. So, literary theory gave us different way of understanding stories, poems, novels, and even plays. So, instead of just reading literature for entertainment, literary theory help us look deeper into meanings, themes, symbols, and messages of the literary piece we are reading. Next is, what is the importance of literary theory? Literary theory helps us in understanding the different perspective of how literature can be interpreted. So, literary theory is important because it helps us understand that literature can be interpreted in many different ways. A different reader may see different meaning depending on the perspectives they use. So, the literary theory expands our understanding and help us think critically about the text. Let's proceed to what is a school of thought. A school of thought is a group that has similar opinion on philosophy, movements, and intellect. It unifies and identifies those with common beliefs, tradition, or practices concerning a field of study or a subject. So, this school of thought is a group of people who share similar beliefs, ideas, or opinion about a certain subject. In literature, the school of thoughts guides how the critics analyze a text. These schools help organize different theories and approaches in studying literature. Alright, now let's move to the classical literary criticism. Literature is a reflection of moral and philosophical truth with an emphasis on its ethical impacts and its ability to teach and inspire virtue. So, this theory believes that literature should reflect moral and philosophical truths. Literature is not just for entertainment, but also teach us lessons, inspire virtue, and improve people's character. So, ancient thinkers like Plato and Aristotle believed that literature has an ethical purpose and should guide people towards goodness. Let's move to the second criticism, the formalism or the new criticism. Texts should be analyzed based on their forms and structure without considering outside influences like the author's intention, history, and etc. Close reading, and it focuses on language, imagery, and symbolism. So, this approach focuses on the text itself. It says that when analyzing literature, we should ignore outside influences such as the author's life, history, or social background. Instead, we should pay attention to the structure, the language, imagery, symbolism, and the literary devices used in the text. So, this theory is also known for close reading, which means carefully examining every details in the literary work. Alright, next is the psychoanalytic criticism. Sigmund Freud, literature as a reflection of unconscious desires and anxieties. So, the psychoanalytic criticism was influenced by Sigmund Freud. It explains that literature through a psychology and the unconscious mind. So, according to this approach, the character's action and motivation may reveal hidden desire, fears, anxieties, or conflicts. Analyzing characters and their motivations as manifestation of subconscious desires. So, critics analyze how subconscious emotions influence the behavior of characters and even the themes of the story. Now let's proceed to the Marxist criticism. Literature reflects the class struggles and material condition of its time. Karl Marx focuses on how economic power structures affect literature. It includes class struggles, ideology, and power. So, this theory is based on the idea of Karl Marx. It believes that literature reflects the social and economic condition of society. Marxist critics examine how power, wealth, and class struggles affect the people in literary works. So the focus is usually on inequality, oppression, ideology, and the conflict between the rich and the poor. Alright, next is the structuralism. Ferdinand de Saussure, language as a system of sign. A key idea, meaning is driven from the relationship between elements within a text rather than its content alone. The focus is universal structures in text. So, this theory was influenced by Ferdinand de Saussure. Structuralism sees language as a system of signs. It believes that a meaning comes from the relationship between elements with a text rather than from individual words alone. So instead of focusing only on the content, structuralists look for pattern, structures, and universal systems that shapes meaning in literature. Now let's move to the feminist criticism. Literature reflects patriarchal structures and marginalized women, representation of women, gender roles, challenging traditional literary canon. So this approach examines how literature reflects patriarchal societies and how women are represented in text. Feminist critics analyze gender roles, stereotypes, and the way female characters are treated or marginalized. So the goal of this criticism is to challenge the male-dominated perspectives and promote equality in literature and society. So next we have the queer theory. It explores how literature challenges or reinforces notion of sexuality and gender, focuses on LGBTQ perspectives. So this theory explores how literature presents sexuality and gender identity. It studies whether literary works challenge or reinforce traditional idea about gender and relationships. So the queer theory mainly focuses on LGBTQ plus perspectives and examines how society's expectations about gender and sexuality are reflected in literature. Now let's move to the post-colonial criticism. It examines how literature portrays the effect of colonialism and experiences of colonized people. Theories including Edward Said, Orientalism, Homi Bhabha, Gayatri Spivak, and the themes focuses on identity, hybridity, power, and resistance. So the post-colonial criticism theory examines the effect of colonialism on people and cultures. It studies how colonized individuals and nations are represented in literature, and how power and oppression operate between the colonizer and the colonized. So important theories in this field including Edward Said, Homi Bhabha, and Gayatri Spivak. So the common themes including the identity, hybridity, resistance, and cultural conflict in this criticism. Alright, next we have the reader response theory. The meaning of a text is created through the interaction between reader and text. It focuses on the reader's personal experiences, interpretation, and emotional response. So this theory believes that the meaning of a text depends on the reader's interpretation. In other words, readers actively create meaning based on their own experiences, emotions, and perspective. So, different readers may understand the same text in completely different ways. Next, here we have the eco-criticism. Literature reflects and critiques humans' interaction with the environment, nature and environmental justice, anthropocentrism versus ecocentrism. So this approach studies the relationship between human and the environment. It examines how nature is represented in literary works and how text addresses environmental issues and human interaction with nature. So ecocentrism also discusses ideas like environmental justice and conflict between the anthropocentrism, which centers on human, and the ecocentrism, which values all the living things. Alright, lastly we have the cultural studies. So it analyzes literature within the context of culture, politics, and society. It focuses on popular culture, race, gender, and class, identity, and ideology. Literary theory provides a range of perspectives to approach text. Modern criticism and schools of thought expand the horizon of interpretation. Theories are tools to deepen our understanding and literature and its relationship to the world. So, this approach analyzes literature within the context of culture, politics, and society. It looks on how race, gender, class, media, and popular culture influences literary works and the people's identity. Cultural studies help readers understand that literature is connected to real life, social issues, and power structures. So that's the end. So overall, the literary theories and modern criticism that we have discussed give us different perspectives and understanding literature. So these theories also help us analyze text more deeply and connect literature to society, culture, psychology, politics, and history. So each of those theories serves as a tool that will broaden our interpretation and help us appreciate the literature in many different ways. So that's all for my part. Here is the reference of my report. Thank you so much for listening.